Talk more about Boeing and the issues it's facing from last month. We're calling it a door plug blowout to some newly disclosed manufacturing issues regarding drilling inside fuselages. The head of the FAA joined us last hour ahead of his congressional testimony today. Here's a little of what he had to say.
I think what we've seen here is there are production problems. What we saw on January 5th, it identified two issues. There was an issue with the plug door, which we dealt with sort of with one work stream. And then it just raises issues about the production at Boeing, what's going on. There have been a series of problems over the last few years, and we just need to get our arms around that.
And joining us now, Peter Arment, senior analyst at Baird. He rates Boeing an outperform with a $300 price target. Are you more positive on the stock now, Peter? Were you ever? Did you ever have a sell or a neutral on the stock?
Oh, I think going back many years ago, we probably had some different ratings on Boeing, but no. And currently, I mean, we look at this as a situation that will pass. We do think that most long-term investors are focused on the opportunity for the OEM production sort of stream to get back online in terms of syncing up where it should be, which is at much higher levels. And that's what we're talking about for mid-decade, where you're going to see production kind of recover. We're going to see Boeing get back to producing significant amounts of cash and obviously getting the company back on kind of a run rate status. And yeah, for sure, I think this has created a lot of anxiety. It certainly has created a lot of incoming emails from around the world focused on this situation. But we remain constructive. We are obviously even more constructive with the stock that has pulled in significantly this month with that incident.
Amazingly safe to fly. We all know that. But when things like this happen and production is affected, it has a lot of ripple effects across the economy, across the way, people's travel plans. You can see it happen again and again and again. It's not an inconsequential thing. And I understand what a one-off is. I don't know what you call something when there's this one-off and then the second one-off and the third. We need a new word for what a one-off is. And I'm just wondering whether there's a deeper problem at Boeing, or whether it's a series of what really are one-offs, or is there a quality control issue just pervasive at the company or at its supplier?
Well, I think your opening comment just kind of said it. Normally this is an industry that's built on safety. I mean, if you just think about the data, a Boeing plane takes off or lands every 2 seconds, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And so, this is an industry that prides itself on safety. Even whenever you tour one of these factories, the safety briefings are intense. So I do think this is not a culture issue. The 31,000 employees at Boeing Commercial Aircraft are passionate about their work. They know they've lost some share at Airbus. Clearly, they want to get back to seeing Boeing on the winning side. So I don't think it's a culture issue. Look, I think it's more of a struggle coming out of COVID, frankly. You have a lot of new employees. You have a lot of different employees in different jobs. A lot of things that have just, not got back in sync. And that's the same thing at Spirit AeroSystems, their main supplier. And I think both of those are going to continue to recover. And we think eventually this 6-week audit will be resolved probably by the end of this month. We do think production will be allowed to move higher. And I think, Boeing's leadership is in line with the regulators. I think what Regulator Whitaker said, is that there was no real new showstoppers. And so we do think this is a time to be leaning in and buying Boeing aggressively.
And at this point, they haven't lost any major customers. I know there's some grumbling and some, some of the major carriers say we might look at Boeing, Airbus, someone like United or Scott Kirby. Do you think that that's tough love, that's not really going to happen? Or could they actually start losing market share, more market share than just, on the edges?
Well, I think it's a real threat, but then you have to kind of look at, Airbus's backlog is enormous, just like Boeing's. And, where are you going to be slotted in for getting those new deliveries if you were to change hands? You also have. Why
haven't we seen, like I said, there's a one off, there's a two off, there's a three off. I mean, we haven't seen similar things with Airbus, have we? Or is it about to happen? Has it been glossed over? Why haven't we seen the same issues? They're building very complex machines as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I think you're right. But, you know, there are issues that come up at Airbus all the time. I just don't think they're getting the headlines. And certainly, obviously, nothing as dramatic as we saw with Alaska Airlines here with Boeing. So it is an industry that's enormously complex. And I think a lot of this is just getting back to kind of a normalized status post-COVID.